Welcome to our journey into the heart of Buddhist wisdom. Today, we explore the Buddha's teachings on the power of forgiveness, liberating yourself from resentment. In a world often overwhelmed by anger and bitterness, the timeless teachings of the Buddha remind us that forgiveness is not about condoning wrongs. It is a transformative path to freedom and inner peace. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful tools we have for healing ourselves. In Buddhism, forgiveness is not simply a moral choice, but a practical method to liberate ourselves from the heavy burdens of resentment and anger. By understanding and applying these teachings, we can achieve a more compassionate, balanced, and liberated life. The Buddha taught that anger and resentment are like a poison that contaminates the mind. These emotions do not just harm our relationships, they disturb our inner peace and keep us trapped in cycles of suffering. In Buddhist philosophy, anger is understood as one of the three poisons alongside greed and ignorance, which hinder our ability to see reality clearly and obstruct our progress on the path to enlightenment. Forgiveness, from a Buddhist perspective, is an inner process of releasing the grip that anger and resentment have on our minds. It is a deliberate choice to let go of the negative emotions that weigh us down. This act of release is not for the benefit of others, but for our own liberation. When we forgive, we are not condoning hurtful actions or denying that wrongs have been committed. Instead, we are reclaiming our power by freeing our hearts from the corrosive effects of hatred. Forgiveness is the pathway to inner peace and clarity. The Buddha's teachings on letting go of resentment, the Four Noble Truths and the root of suffering. Central to Buddhist teachings are the Four Noble Truths. The first truth is that suffering exists, and the second explains that this suffering is rooted in craving and attachment. Anger, resentment, and the inability to forgive are forms of attachment to our pain, to our perceptions of injustice, and to the identities we construct around our hurt. By recognizing that our suffering is self-generated, we open the door to transforming our inner world. Forgiveness becomes a means of cutting through these attachments, thereby reducing our suffering. A guided mindfulness exercise: find a quiet space, sit comfortably, and close your eyes. Begin by taking slow, deep breaths. Notice any feelings of tension or anger rising in your body. Acknowledge these feelings without labeling them as good or bad. Simply observe them as they pass. Through mindfulness, we learn to see that the anger we harbor is like clouds passing through a vast sky. They do not define our true nature, and we have the power to let them drift away. The process of forgiveness, step by step. The first step toward forgiveness is to acknowledge the pain that has been inflicted. Often, we try to bury our hurt deep within ourselves, letting it fester into resentment. Recognizing this pain is essential for healing. In meditation, we invite awareness to our suffering. We allow ourselves to feel the sadness, anger, or disappointment that has accumulated over time. By facing these emotions, we begin the journey of release. Understanding the impermanence of emotions. Buddha's teaching on impermanence reminds us that nothing in life remains static, not even our emotions. When we fully understand that our feelings of anger and resentment are transient, it becomes easier to let them go. This understanding cultivates a sense of detachment, enabling us to witness our emotions without being overwhelmed by them. In this space of clarity, forgiveness begins to blossom. Cultivating empathy for the perpetrator. Forgiveness is not about justifying the harmful actions of others, rather, it involves recognizing their own suffering. The Buddha taught that every being acts out of ignorance and pain. By cultivating empathy, we begin to see that those who hurt us are also trapped in their own cycles of suffering. Understanding this can transform our perspective. we come to realize that forgiveness is a gift we give to ourselves, the gift of liberation from the chains of resentment, letting go and embracing freedom. The final step in the process is the conscious decision to let go of the past and embrace freedom. This does not mean forgetting the lessons learned or dismissing the importance of accountability. It means choosing not to carry the burden of resentment any longer. Letting go is a powerful act of self-care. It allows us to reclaim our energy and redirect it toward creating a more positive, compassionate future. In doing so, we liberate ourselves from the perpetual cycle of pain and suffering, inner peace and emotional freedom. When we forgive, we pave the way for profound inner peace. Without the weight of anger and resentment, our minds become calmer, more centered, and open to new experiences of joy and clarity. This inner freedom is not only beneficial for our own well-being but also radiates outward, positively influencing our relationships and interactions with the world. Resentment can create barriers between people. When we choose forgiveness, we open the door to healing and reconciliation. While forgiveness does not automatically restore relationships to their former state, it lays the groundwork for compassionate communication and mutual understanding. By forgiving, we not only free ourselves but also create the possibility for others to grow, learn, and change. In Buddhism, the ultimate goal is to achieve enlightenment, a state of complete liberation from suffering. Forgiveness is a crucial step on this path. When we release anger and resentment, we remove obstacles that cloud our true nature. Forgiveness aligns our mind with the universal truth of impermanence and interconnectedness. It guides us toward a deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in the world, ultimately contributing to our spiritual growth and liberation. Many have experienced life-changing transformations through the power of forgiveness. Consider the story of a man who, after years of holding on to deep-seated resentment toward a family member, chose to forgive. His journey was not easy. It required confronting painful memories and challenging ingrained beliefs. Yet, over time, his heart softened, and the healing process began. His act of forgiveness not only brought him inner peace but also opened the door to renewed, compassionate relationships. In many communities, forgiveness has been a catalyst for reconciliation after periods of conflict and division. Buddhist teachings have helped people come together, mend broken bonds, and build bridges of understanding. These stories remind us that forgiveness is a collective healing process that can transform societies. Forgiveness is not always easy. Deep-seated resentments, especially those accumulated over years, can be difficult to let go of. It is important to remember that forgiveness is a gradual process, one that requires patience, perseverance, and self-compassion. There will be moments when old wounds resurface and anger flares again. When this happens, acknowledge your feelings without judgment. Return to your mindfulness and loving-kindness practices. Each relapse is an opportunity to learn more about yourself and to practice forgiveness anew. Forgiveness does not mean accepting injustice or allowing harmful behavior to continue unchecked. It is an inner liberation that empowers you to act with wisdom and compassion. Maintain healthy boundaries and seek justice when necessary. But do so without letting resentment cloud your judgment. Forgiveness remains your personal pathway to peace. Even as you engage with the world, forgiveness is a gateway to enlightenment. In Buddhist teachings, forgiveness is integral to the path toward enlightenment. By releasing attachments to anger and resentment, you open your mind to the truth of impermanence and the interconnected nature of all beings. This clarity leads to insight, a direct experience of the nature of reality free from delusions. The law of karma teaches us that our actions, thoughts, and intentions create our future. By choosing forgiveness, we plant seeds of compassion and understanding. This positive karma not only benefits our own journey but also contributes to the healing of the world. When we forgive, we act in accordance with the Dharma, aligning ourselves with the universal flow of love and kindness. At the heart of the Buddha's teachings is the cultivation of compassion. Forgiveness is one of the most potent expressions of compassion. It is the willingness to see beyond one's own hurt and to recognize the suffering in others. In doing so, we not only free ourselves but also help others to find their own path toward healing. Integrating forgiveness into daily life. Incorporate rituals into your daily routine that honor your journey toward forgiveness. These might include lighting a candle, saying a few words of gratitude, or simply pausing to reflect on the progress you have made. Rituals help to reinforce your commitment to letting go and embracing peace. Forgiveness is not a destination but a lifelong journey. It requires continual mindfulness, practice, and self-compassion. There will be times when the path seems difficult and the burdens heavy. But every step you take toward forgiveness is a step toward true freedom. As you embrace the power of forgiveness, you will find that you become more resilient, more compassionate, and more capable of experiencing the richness of life. The teachings of the Buddha on forgiveness remind us that we hold the key to our own liberation in our hearts. Letting go of resentment is not an act of weakness. It is one of the bravest and most transformative actions we can take. We invite you to take these teachings to heart. Reflect on your own experiences, practice mindfulness, and cultivate loving kindness. Each moment offers a new opportunity to let go, to forgive, and to heal. May you discover the profound peace that comes from freeing your mind and heart from the chains of resentment. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of the Buddha's teachings on the power of forgiveness. We hope that you find inspiration in these timeless insights and that they encourage you to release old hurts and embrace a life of compassion and peace. Remember, forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. By liberating your heart from the burdens of the past, you create space for joy, love, and enlightenment to flourish. Continue your practice. Share these insights with others, and together, let us build a world filled with understanding and compassion. May your journey be filled with light, and may you always find the strength to forgive and let go. Until next time, may peace and compassion be with you.